The digital world collided with religious reverence in a storm of controversy. Former President Donald Trump, never one to shy away from the spotlight, found himself at the center of it all. The catalyst, an AI-generated image. The subject? Trump, adorned in full papal regalia. The timing? Just days after attending Pope Francis's funeral. Coincidence? You decide. The image, shared on Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, spread like wildfire. It depicted Trump in a white cassock, a golden cross gleaming on his chest. Atop his head sat a mitre, the traditional papal headwear. The image was startling, bizarre, and undeniably Trumpian. In a world of carefully curated online personas, this was a digital grenade. The timing only amplified the shock. The world was still mourning the passing of Pope Francis, a figure of humility and compassion. The Catholic Church was preparing for the papal conclave, a sacred event to elect a new spiritual leader. Into this atmosphere of solemnity and reflection, Trump injected his AI-generated alter ego. The internet erupted. Was it a joke, a political statement, a bizarre bid for attention? Whatever the intention, one thing was clear. Trump had struck a nerve. The image ignited a firestorm of reactions, from outrage and condemnation to amusement and mockery. The world watched, captivated, as the saga of the AI Pope unfolded. Let's talk about the image itself. It's Trump, but not as we know him. Gone is the fiery red tie, the sharp suit, the windblown hair. In their place are the vestments of the papacy, symbols of humility and spiritual authority. The contrast is jarring. Look closer, the AI has done a remarkable job. The details are impeccable, from the intricate embroidery on the cassock to the glint of gold on the papal ring, but something is off. The eyes, perhaps? They lack the warmth, the wisdom, the weight of responsibility that we associate with the papacy. Instead, there's a glint of mischief, a hint of self-satisfaction. It's as if Trump is trying on the role of Pope for size, seeing how it suits him, and that's precisely what makes this image so unsettling. It's a digital costume party with Trump playing dress-up in the most sacred of outfits. The image is a stark reminder that we live in an age of digital manipulation. With a few clicks, anyone can be made to look like anyone else. The lines between reality and fabrication are blurring. And that raises some uncomfortable questions about authenticity, representation, and the power of images in the digital age. Saturday Night Live, that venerable institution of American satire, didn't waste any time. The AI Pope was comedy gold, a gift from the gods of political lampoonery, and they milked it for all it was worth. Colin Jost, with his trademark smirk, delivered the opening blow on Weekend Update. "Well, it looks like someone's trying to secure a one-way ticket to hell," he quipped, the image of Trump as Pope looming large behind him. The audience roared with laughter. Even Michael Chi, usually unflappable, cracked a smile. But SNL wasn't done. They rolled out the big guns. James Austin Johnson, their resident Trump impersonator. He didn't disappoint. In a sketch that skewered Trump's policies and persona, he declared, "I've already issued 147 executive orders, banned paper straws, and defunded PBS. It's like I never left." The punchline? And for the record, the new Pope is... He paused, a sly grin spreading across his face. "Me!" The audience erupted. SNL had done it again. They had taken a sensitive, potentially offensive topic and turned it into biting satire. They had exposed the absurdity of the situation, the hubris of the man at its center. And in doing so, they had provided a much-needed release valve for a nation on edge. Because sometimes, all you can do is laugh. The Catholic community, as you might imagine, was not amused. From the pews to the pulpits, the reaction was swift and severe. This was not just a political cartoon, it was seen as an affront to their faith, a mockery of their holiest symbols. The New York State Catholic Conference, representing millions of Catholics, issued a scathing rebuke. "This is neither clever nor funny," they declared. "It is deeply offensive to Catholics and all people of faith." Cardinal Timothy Dolan, a prominent figure in the American Catholic Church, expressed his profound disappointment with the image. Bishop Thomas John Paprocki went further, calling it blasphemous and demanding an apology. "To depict oneself as the vicar of Christ on earth is not a laughing matter," he thundered. From across the Atlantic, Italian media outlets joined the chorus of condemnation. "Infantile," declared La Repubblica, echoing the sentiments of many. The message was clear. This was not a joke. This was sacrilege. The Catholic community's outrage highlighted the deep reverence they hold for the papacy. The Pope, to them, is not just a man. He is the successor to St. Peter, the rock upon which Christ built his church. To see their spiritual leader so casually appropriated, so blatantly mocked, was deeply painful. It was a stark reminder that in an increasingly secular world, religious sensitivities are often overlooked, dismissed, or worse, exploited for political gain. Section 5: Political Divide, from Defense to Disdain. The political arena, as always, was a whirlwind of competing narratives. Trump's allies rushed to his defense, wielding the shield of free speech and the sword of humor. His detractors, on the other hand, saw this as yet another example of his recklessness, his disregard for norms, and his penchant for courting controversy. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, in a carefully worded statement, emphasized Trump's deep respect for Pope Francis and his unwavering support for religious liberty. She characterized the image as a light-hearted gesture, a testament to Trump's unique sense of humor. Vice President J.D. Vance, a recent Catholic convert, offered a more nuanced perspective. "I believe in humor," he stated, "even when it pushes boundaries. However," he added, "there's a difference between a joke and harmful policies." Senator Lindsey Graham, known for his acerbic wit, chimed in with a satirical tweet, "I, for one, welcome our new Pope Donald," but not everyone was buying it. Bill Kristol, a conservative commentator, questioned Vance's stance. "Are there no lines anymore?" he asked pointedly. Far-right activist Jack Posobiec, a staunch Trump supporter, defended the image as harmless fun. "People need to lighten up," he tweeted, "it's just a joke." The political discourse, as usual, was a cacophony of voices, each vying for attention, each pushing their own agenda. Section 6: International Outcry, a Global Gaffe. The shockwaves from Trump's AI Pope stunt weren't confined to American shores. Across the globe, from the halls of power to the streets of Rome, the image sparked outrage, condemnation, and more than a few bewildered headshakes. It seemed the former president, once again, had managed to offend international sensibilities. Former Italian Prime Minister Matteo Renzi, never one to mince words, called the image a pathetic attempt to be relevant and a slap in the face to Catholics worldwide. French newspapers, known for their acerbic wit, had a field day. "Le Pape Trump," quipped one headline, above a photo of a bemused-looking French bulldog wearing a paper mitre. Even the normally reserved Canadians couldn't resist weighing in. "It's like he's trying to win a worst person in the world competition," remarked one commentator on Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The international community, it seemed, was united in its disapproval. The incident highlighted the delicate balance between freedom of expression and cultural sensitivity. What might be considered satire in one country can be deeply offensive in another, and in an increasingly interconnected world where images can go viral in an instant, the potential for missteps, misunderstandings, and outright offense is greater than ever. Section 7: AI in the Arena. Weaponizing wit or fanning flames. The AI Pope incident wasn't just about a provocative image. It was a stark reminder of artificial intelligence's growing influence on our political discourse. With AI's ability to create hyper-realistic images, videos, and even audio, the potential for misinformation, manipulation, and outright chaos is enormous. Imagine a world where deep fakes are commonplace, where seeing is no longer believing. Political campaigns could be waged with fabricated scandals, manufactured controversies, and entirely fictional events. Trust in institutions, already fragile, could crumble completely. The very fabric of our democracy, built on informed debate and shared reality, could unravel. The AI Pope incident, while seemingly trivial, served as a canary in the coal mine. It exposed the potential dangers of this technology when used irresponsibly, carelessly, or maliciously. It raised urgent questions about how to regulate AI, how to prevent its misuse, and how to preserve truth and authenticity in a world increasingly awash in digital deception. Section 8: The Perils of Satire. Walking the Tightrope of Taste. Satire, that double-edged sword of humor, found itself thrust into the spotlight. SNL's skewering of the AI Pope, while praised by some for its biting wit, also drew criticism for potentially crossing the line from satire into sacrilege. It ignited a debate about the limits of humor, the boundaries of taste, and the delicate balance between provoking thought and causing offense. Satire, by its very nature, is meant to provoke, to challenge, to hold a mirror up to society and expose its hypocrisies. It often relies on exaggeration, absurdity, and yes, even offense to make its point. But where does one draw the line? When does satire cease to be insightful and become merely hurtful? The AI Pope incident highlighted the subjective nature of humor. What one person finds funny, another may find deeply offensive. There is no easy answer, no one-size-fits-all formula for determining what constitutes acceptable satire. Context, intent, audience, and cultural sensitivities all play a role. Section 9. The Digital Age of Disrespect. Where do we draw the line? The AI Pope saga wasn't just about politics, religion, or technology. It was about respect, or rather, the lack thereof. It was a symptom of a larger trend, the erosion of civility, the coarsening of our discourse, and the blurring of lines between the public and the private, the sacred and the profane. In the digital age, where anonymity reigns supreme and consequences seem distant, people feel emboldened to say and do things they would never dream of in the real world. Social media platforms designed to connect us have become breeding grounds for outrage, vitriol, and disrespect. The AI Pope incident, with its potent mix of politics, religion, and technology, became a lightning rod for these toxic tendencies. It forced us to confront some uncomfortable truths about ourselves, about the society we've created, and about the future we're building. It challenged us to ask ourselves, where do we draw the line? How do we preserve respect, empathy, and civility in a world where anonymity reigns and outrage is just a click away? The answers, like the digital world itself, are complex, ever-evolving, and ultimately up to us.